Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. It's the day we were all waiting for. From the past, I don't know how many weeks, Gautam Gambhir's new era has just begun. And guess who the T20I captain is? We at Rev Sports have been saying that Suryakumar Yadav is likely to be the T20 World Cup, and now it's been officially announced by BCCI that Suryakumar Yadav will indeed be the T20I captain for India in the Sri Lanka squad, and maybe going ahead in the future and the next permanent T20I captain for India. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today is Ishan Shahane, Bharat Ramraj, and Debashish Sen. And it's an exciting day. If I could just give you all the Sri Lanka, the squad for the Sri Lanka tour, the T20I squad, it is Surya Kumar Yadav, who is the captain, Shubman Gill, vice captain, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rinku Singh, Riyan Parag, Rishabh Pant, Sanju Samson, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Aksar Patel, Washington Sundar, Ravi Bishnoi, Arshdeep Singh, Khalil Ahmed, and Mohammad Siraj. Um, Debashish, I'd like to go to you first. How are you feeling about this squad? I mean, so it's been confirmed that Hardik Pandya is no longer the white ball captain for India. Of course, he was being looked at as the next permanent captain, but there's been a sudden switch when it comes to the Indian white ball team, the T20I team.
Yeah, at the onset, I would just say it's grossly unfair on Hardik. Means he has done nothing wrong so as to be deprived of given captaincy when he was the vice captain for the T20 World Cup squad. So automatically he should have got the captain. Means let's be fair. Means obviously, but then selectors have other views. Gautam Gambhir has other views due to which Surya Kumar Yadav has been named the captain. Hardik has done nothing wrong. That is my initial mm, feeling. He has done nothing wrong so as to be deprived of captaincy. He has done tremendously well, helping India win that T20 World Cup. He has done well for his franchise, Gujarat Titans. Yes, he has not had a great season with Mumbai Indians, but as far as Hardik Pandya not being named and the captain means what was on the expected line, but it's unfortunate and grossly unfair to see Hardik not being named as the captain.
Yeah, and uh, I mean, when you think about it, yes, because Hardik Pandya, it's being said that he was not given the captaincy role because the management or whoever was behind this decision did not want an injured captain or someone who's very injury prone. But is it unfair or not? Let's see how this decision impacts. But Ishan, what do you think of this sudden change? Right after the World Cup, we were thinking next in line is Hardik Pandya, but we were all wrong.
Yeah, I think like Devashish Das mentioned, Gagi, it's unfair on Hardik Pandya. And you know why it's even more unfair is because of that World Cup. It would have been unfair even if that World Cup didn't take place, if India didn't go on to win. But they've done well in that World Cup. India's gone on to win. Hardik Pandya has been that impactful player for you in that World Cup. So talk about the amount of confidence Hardik Pandya would have been roaming around with at the moment and how much he'll be carrying in the future series. So it would have been a fantastic call, in my opinion at least, if Hardik Pandya stuck with this captaincy or was given the captaincy role because the amount of confidence he would have been feeling after that World Cup win is unparalleled. Gagi, it's completely unparalleled. So I think it's a different sort of move which we've seen by this Indian management here. Surprising move. I didn't expect this personally. One poor season at the Mumbai Indians does not mean that this is not a good captain. He should have been given a chance to redeem himself as a captain, and unfortunately now we won't see that happening. So it's unfair, like Devashish Das mentioned. We can only hope that Sky as a captain, Suryakumar Yadav as a captain does well. But talking about Hardik Pandya, I'm sure he'll be disappointed, and it's something obviously that this team management has really decided in those close rooms because until the longest time all of us thought that Hardik Pandya would be that captain. So really strange, and it's going to raise a lot of questions as well. If you're talking about the future and going into the Mumbai Indians franchise as well, what does this mean? Does this mean Surya Kumar Yadav will become the captain for Mumbai Indians, and will that start a whole other controversy of Hardik giving the captaincy to Sky? But that's a whole other topic altogether. That's a far off topic, but it's strange.
Bharat, what are your thoughts about Hardik Pandya not being the captain? Like I said, I think I'm repeating this for the third time now, but we all thought Hardik Pandya is next in line and is the next T20I captain for India after his brilliance in the IPL and also in the World Cup, the way that he's performed and taken responsibility.
Yeah, Gautam Gambhir sees it differently. Something he has seen, perhaps he thought in the 2024 IPL, Hardik Pandya's captaincy was not the best. On that basis, he saw something different. I don't know. Obviously, it is unfair on Hardik Pandya. He should have got a chance. But that's how it is. Suryakumar Yadav obviously has some experience. He scored 100. So, in that sense, perhaps you can say, yeah, he's doing well, but definitely unfair on Hardik Pandya. But that is what Gautam Gambhir and company have decided. Let us see how Suryakumar Yadav will do it. Obviously, you can even tell maybe it will put some pressure on Suryakumar Yadav. Remember, he's one of the mainstays of the batting lineup now. With Kohli and Rohit Sharma gone from the T20I side, Suryakumar is the mainstay. So hopefully it doesn't put too much pressure on his captaincy, because India need that free-flowing Suryakumar Yadav, not the batter who will get bogged down by captaincy and lose his way as a batter. Obviously, there is some example. Recently, he scored 100 in South Africa as a captain. So might be he will take to captaincy like a duck to water. So hopefully that will be the case.
Anita Padhi is asking who's leading ODI. Isn't it Rohit? Yes, it's Rohit Sharma who's leading the ODI squad. But back to talking about the T20I squad, because this is huge news. Suryakumar Yadav becoming the captain. Debashish, if I ask you, will this cause some problems in the dressing room? Do you think it will? No matter how much we try to soothe ourselves and say that, there may not be any tension between the two players, of course not, but circumstances are such that you can't. Hardik must be feeling let down right now.
Yeah, the worst thing to have happened now is to see a group being formed, and one Hardik Pandya group and one Surya Kumar Yadav group. That you shouldn't see. You shouldn't want that to happen, because Indian cricket is going through a great patch. Means obviously that recent T20 World Cup win, and the worst part to happen is to have two groups in Hardik Pandya and Surya Kumar Yadav. But then what I think very strange is that Shubman Gill has been appointed as the vice captain in both the formats. Even Hardik Pandya is not named the vice captain in T20 format as well. So that completely is baffling, because Hardik Pandya not even made the vice captain in T20 format, means and he was the vice captain in the T20 World Cup. So how can that happen? Means obviously there's something wrong, and I don't know. Means obviously Hardik was consulted. Means what I have known, what I have learned from reports that Hardik was conveyed about the decision of moving forward, about the blueprint which was been presented by Gautam Gambhir. And he does not fit in that captain's or vice captain's role, because they feel Surya Kumar Yadav is a lot deserving candidate. I have nothing against Surya Kumar Yadav. He has been a wonderful batter for India across the format. But then my question is, what has Hardik done wrong? Means what I am trying to say is, it can so happen that Surya Kumar Yadav can also get injured in the first series that he plays in Sri Lanka. So if he is injury prone, before you label someone as injury prone, what would have happened if Surya Kumar Yadav gets injured in his first series as captain? So so there has to be a logic behind. Means obviously you cannot just label someone as he is injury prone, and that's the reason he is not a certainty in all the series. India does not play as obviously we should be talking about T20 series. Yes, India does play a few T20I series, but then strange things happens in Indian cricket. So, but one would hope that there is no friction among the teams, because end of the day they are all representing Indian team. So I think they should all leave aside the egos and the differences, and should then concentrate on winning the series against Sri Lanka.
A lot of people have actually just joined us, and they are asking about the squad. So we'll just show the squad right now through our images. And this is the ODI squad for the Sri Lanka tour. Rohit Sharma is the captain, Shubman Gill vice captain, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Shivam Dube, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, Arshdeep Singh, Riyan Parag, Aksar Patel, Khalil Ahmed, and Harshit Rana. Whereas on the other hand, this is the T20I squad for the tour to Sri Lanka, and Suryakumar Yadav is the new T20I captain. Shubman Gill remains the vice captain for both the formats. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rinku Singh, Riyan Parag, Rishabh Pant, and Sanju Samson as the wicket keepers. Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube, Aksar Patel, Washington Sundar, Ravi Bishnoi, Arshdeep Singh, Khalil Ahmed, and Mohammad Siraj. I think, Ishan, when we talk about the squad, I think Devashish brings up a great point that captaincy. Okay, you understood for a second that maybe the management did not want a player perhaps who was injury prone or something of that sort, whatever the reason was behind this change. But he wasn't even made the vice captain. So is this, a very clear sign that Hardik Pandya is not being looked at as a leadership role going forward, even though he's one of the senior most players in the team?
Absolutely clear, Gagi. I think it can't be more clear than this. If he's not been given the vice captain role as well, it's a clear indication that they aren't looking at Hardik Pandya anymore. So, again, just extremely unfortunate here. He's someone who's redeemed himself, come back stronger. He should have been given another opportunity to prove himself as a captain. So, it's a decision that has been taken by this management here. Obviously, they've thought this through. Hardik Pandya, though, definitely deserved another chance. But yes, you're right. He won't be looked at as a captain at least in the near future for a while, Gagi. I think that boat has passed, unfortunately, and it's been given to Suryakumar Yadav for now. So that's the way it's going to be. But disappointment for Hardik Pandya, Gagi, for sure.
What do you think, Bharat? What about this? Again, Hardik Pandya is one of the senior most players of the team, and not even the vice captaincy. Like Debashi said, if there were really concerns about his injury or anything, he could have been made the vice captain, but not even that. So, if there are a few signs to look at, it's that Hardik Pandya is not being looked at in the leadership role, and Shubman Gill is being groomed as the next, maybe, all format captain for India.
Perhaps Gambhir said that if he's not the captain, let us not make him the vice captain either. That could be the reasons. They might have said, yeah, he's injury prone. If he's not going to be the captain, I don't think there is much use making him the vice captain there. Better to get someone younger. I'm telling it from Gambhir's point of view. Better to get someone younger to make him the vice captain so that you can nurture him, groom him in that role. That could be the reason. On that point, I kind of agree, because if you are not going to make a senior player the captain, then better don't make him the vice captain either. They'll get someone who's 22, 25, 26-year-old as the vice captain. As we know, T20 is a kind of format that youngsters should thrive. So on that basis, I kind of agree, but definitely he should have got the captaincy, but they say something else. Injuries could have played a part. Perhaps the Gambhir didn't like the way Hardik Pandya led in the recent IPL, led Mumbai Indians. That could be a variety of reasons, but that is how it works. But in that sense, I agree that if he's not going to be made the captain, then don't make him the vice captain either. That's, I think, the right decision.
Okay, and when Ishan, because you've seen Mumbai Indians quite closely, you live in Mumbai and you've been a part of the Mumbai circuit. So, how do you think this will change things for Mumbai Indians as well? Like you said, this is a different conversation, but then will the awkwardness seep into franchise cricket as well? I think we should be more concerned about the Indian dressing room, but still, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be interesting. It's a far off topic. It's going to happen much later in the future at the moment. But it's strange, Gagi. What's it going to be now? Is it going to be Hardik Pandya? Rohit Sharma's had a fantastic World Cup. Is it going to be Rohit Sharma again? Or are they going to go with Suryakumar Yadav? So I think this is Mumbai Indians. I think they must be thinking to themselves as well, how are we going to go about this? I am not sure, to be honest. I think this is a big question mark in my opinion. I don't know which way they're going to go. You can it can go all three ways, in my opinion. But then who are they going to retain is another big factor that comes in here. Obviously, you can only retain a few players, but I'm guessing Suryakumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya will be retained. Rohit Sharma, obviously, after this World Cup win, again, it can go 50-50. I mean, obviously, a lot of Mumbai Indian fans would want him retained, but there were a lot of speculations about him possibly not being retained. So it's one of those questions which can only be answered with time. But I would possibly still see if Suryakumar Yadav is the T20I captain at the moment, it only makes sense to possibly give it to Sky.
Yeah. There are a few comments here. Stalin Lobo is saying, absolutely shocking leadership choices in ODI format. Hardik KL should have been the successor to Rohit Sharma. Devashish, I think because Rohit's still there, why would you pass on the captaincy
No,
right
I have no complaints as far as the ODI captaincy is concerned because Rohit Sharma has always been your captain. He has just retired from T20 format. I have nothing against the ODI side. KL Rahul makes a comeback. So is Shreyas Iyer, who has an outstanding series for KKR, winning that IPL. So it was only time that Shreyas Iyer would have been included, and he's back. It's great to see him back. Hopefully, he will get back his contract soon. But talking about the T20I squad means, as Ishan said, means obviously it's grossly unfair. But let's also talk about means obviously a brilliant inclusion has been Harshit Rana, and let's Bharat speak because he has written a lot about Harshit, and he's technically the right person to speak about the qualities of Harshit. But then talking about the captaincy issue, I am again trying, and I have no worries whatsoever what others think. So I feel it is grossly unfair not to name Hardik Pandya as the captain because for me he should have been made the captain since he was the vice captain of the T20 World Cup squad.
And to talk about the rest of the squad, sports fan is saying, please discuss ODI squad. Riyan Parag in both squads is surprising. Harshit Rana, Khalil, Arshdeep too in ODIs. Bharat, what do you think about this?
Yeah, that's a little bit surprising that Riyan Parag got a place in both squads. Somewhere for the way Abhishek Sharma played in his second match in Zimbabwe, he might have gotten out in the T20 squad. I'm not saying talking about the ODI squad, but that is where it tells to Abhishek Sharma that he could have in the couple of games he could have tried to get himself in, score singles and twos, get 30 of 25 balls. Perhaps that kind of cost him in Zimbabwe. Instead of trying to go after the bowling every single ball. It showed the intent. If I was the selector somewhere, I would have thought this guy has shown the intent in one of the matches and bowled a little bit. He also bowls a little bit of left arm spin. I would get him into the T20 squad, but that's the decision they have taken. Yeah, Ashit Rana already talked about this. He has good attitude towards fast bowling. That's the main thing I see about his fast bowling. If a batter hits him for a six, he's not the kind of bowler who will suddenly lose the plot or someone who's very mentally fragile and starts bowling all over the shop. So I think that is where it might help Harshit Rana to come good. Yeah, he hits the deck hard. He's a tall bowler. I've interviewed him. He's quite tall. Hits the deck hard from a high release point. Seems the ball a little bit, has some decent variations. Actually, he might have got into the T20 squad as well. So, but that's a decision that they've taken. They somehow seem to like Khalil Ahmed because I guess he's a left armer. Though they already have Arshdeep Singh, but India have decided to go in for two left armers. But Khalil Ahmed is a bit of hit and miss kind of bowler. Sometimes is really good. Sometimes just goes for a lot of runs. And obviously his fielding and batting. Yeah, I'm not blaming him, but he comes from a kind of old school type cricketers. You could see it with the Narendra Hirwani or Devon Malcolm type cricketers. They just bowled, and after that, when they batted or when they fielded, they didn't show much interest. I think Khalil comes from that kind of school, but this is 2024, and modern day cricket kind of demands players to be, at least if you're not good at batting and fielding, other two skills, you need to be at least adequate enough your skills. But Khalil Ahmed, in that sense, is not there. Is not there yet. But there's a selector's decision. A bit surprised by their faith in Khalil. But otherwise, most of it I think are most of it were expected. But Riyan Parag in both squads and Abhishek Sharma not getting a chance T20Is and Harshit Rana as well not getting a chance T20 is a little bit surprising.
And there's another question here, and a lot of people are actually asking about this player. Sports fan Ravindra Jadeja, is he either dropped or rested? What's going on? Because he's not in the squad. Devashish, Ishan, do you have any updates on this? What's going on with Ravindra Jadeja?
I don't think so. He is dropped. I think he has opted out from the ODI series, much like Hardik Pandya, because due to some personal reasons, he has opted out of the ODI series. Hardik. So I just with Bumrah, you can say that he has been rested, and I get to know that Hardik Pandya has not been named as either the vice captain as well because he is means obviously because of his injury concerns. Means obviously that has been the reason that has been circling around because of his injury concerns. Hardik and Gautam Gambhir fails to invest in someone who will be available in all series from now on till 2026 T20 World Cup, and that might be the reason to invest in Suryakumar Yadav rather than Hardik Pandya.
Yeah, and now a lot of people are also talking about Ruturaj Gaikwad. Shantanu Bhunia is saying justice for Ruturaj Gaikwad. Then Kaushik Arunagiri is also saying, what has Ruturaj done wrong? How can a guy with 120 strike rate get to be vice captain of a T20 side? And I think there are a few confusing signals that are being sent, or at least I have, sort of got from the Indian management, is that in the Asian Games, Ruturaj Gaikwad is made the captain. You're looking at him, or at least you're giving out the message that you're looking at him as the next captain, or at least someone who's in line, who's a senior player in the team. But suddenly, he's barely getting by. He's barely not getting any chances. So I'd like to ask all of you your thoughts on Ruturaj Gaikwad and his recent tour as well, and now being dropped from both ODIs and T20Is. What's going on? Ishan, why don't you start?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gagi. I think the Indian team management is sending out quite a lot of mixed signals at the moment, which is quite confusing. Gaikwad hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong. In my opinion, yes, like Bharat mentioned, Riyan Parag being part of both the sides, Gaikwad not being part of any is surprising. Maybe they're looking to play it out in a format where they want to select each player for their own particular role. If you look at the side now, it's not as crowded. You aren't going with four openers. You aren't going with two people who can do the same job for you. So I think maybe that might be the thinking here. Keep Riyan Parag to the number 4 position. That this is why someone like Gaikwad misses out. Besides this, I don't see any other reason why Gaikwad is missed out. Is obviously he's done enough. He's a level-headed player, extremely handy in the T20 format. He's obviously not an aggressor, but someone who can push on and accelerate when it's needed. And in that ODI format as well, against a batter who can be really, really handy. So yeah, I think all these comments which they say justice for Gaikwad, I understand where it's coming from, because he is someone that you want to be seeing playing on a regular basis. He is someone who definitely deserves to be in this Indian side. Similar to Sanju Samson, like how we used to say that Samson should be a part of the side no matter what. It's the same with Gaikwad. Someone like Gaikwad deserves to be on the side. Maybe they're just looking out to play each player to their own allocated roles, and this is why someone like Gaikwad misses out on this tour.
Devashish, your thoughts? Too many openers?
Yeah, obviously, it's at the same time it's unfair on Ruturaj Gaikwad. But if you look at the one day squad, if you look particularly because the next tournament that India plays is the Champions Trophy. So and Champions Trophy in all probability as of now is 50 overs format. So in that case, you already have a Shubman Gill, you have a Rohit Sharma, and you also have a KL Rahul. So there is a lot of options when it comes to who will bat in at the top. So I mean, and there's some sort of logic that Gaikwad does not fit in the ODI squad. When you look ahead to the Champions Trophy in 2025. But when it comes to T20I squad, he was recently in that part of that Zimbabwe series. So why not when you give opportunity to someone like a Riyan Parag? Why not Ruturaj Gaikwad? He has also scored one in one of the matches. He has scored a brilliant 90 odd. So why not give an opportunity to Ruturaj Gaikwad? Means what wrong has he done? Means some of the decisions are quite baffling if you look at the side, especially as Bharat said, Riyan Parag in both the squads, in ODI squad as well as one day squad. Then having Khalil Ahmed in both the squad, when we already have Arshdeep Singh, and guaranteed that India won't play two left armers in that Champions Trophy squad. It will be only one left armer, and then you have a Bumrah coming in. So where means obviously, few decisions are quite baffling. Yes, and it's and obviously there's a trend that is going on in justice for Ruturaj Gaikwad, and fairly so. Means I also feel that Ruturaj Gaikwad deserves a place at least in one squad. You mean to say that he does not deserve a place in either squad? Let's be honest. Means at least he deserves a place in one of the squad. And for me, T20I squad.
Bharat, your thoughts? Is it incredibly unfair on Ruturaj?
Yeah, I guess 2 points went against him. One was, I think, in Indian board selectors, whatever, the coach, they have some fascination to make Shubman Gill the next all format player. I think that kind of went against Gaikwad because he's not exactly a T20A player, but he scored 40 of 30, 35 of 25 in Zimbabwe, this kind of knocks, and that was enough to make him the vice captain. So I think that's 1 point because India still have some fascination to make X or Y the next big all format star. Maybe I just feel Shubman Gill the way he plays. Maybe one day cricket and test cricket because he's doing reasonably well now in test cricket as well. And number 5, maybe he's better suited to those two formats. But they want him to get into the T20 lineup as well as the captain sometimes, as vice captain sometimes. And only one anchor can get in, one anchor batter can get in. It's either Gaikwad or Gill. And because Shubman Gill, they penciled him as the vice captain, sometimes the captain. Obviously, when now from now on, when Suryakumar Yadav is rested or something like that, Gill obviously again will be the captain at T20I squad. So that is where I think went against Gaikwad because only one anchor batter can get in. The other one is India play a lot of bilaterals. So what happens sometimes is in some of the bilaterals, like against Zimbabwe, even it could be against Sri Lanka, if Gambhir was not the coach, if Dravid had continued as the coach, they might have sent some of the fringe players to Sri Lanka. And then what happens is a lot of players get a chance. Few of them go and get 70 or 80, and they don't get into the main squad. When India select the main squad against a stronger side, they don't get a chance because there are too many players who are getting selected. So few of them will miss out. I think Gaikwad, in that sense, is one of those who has been unlucky if you look at it from these 2 point of views. Because otherwise, he's a good anchor batter. He will take his time. In T20 cricket, for example, he will score 20 or 15 balls, then go for his shots, score 70 of 45 or whatever, 80 of 60 balls. So that's his role, and he does that really well. But I don't think there is any place for him in this squad because India are definitely looking at Gill as the next all-format star, rightly or wrongly.
Vipul Anand is asking a question. Can you guys please confirm this rumor? Dravid is joining KKR as mentor, and Sky might be traded and or go in auction just like Dhoni did in first IPL. Devashish, any confirmation or updates on this?
No, I don't have any confirmation about this rumor. Means, no idea, Karthik.
No worries. And Soumya Jyoti Chaudhary is asking, what is the reason behind no Bumrah in any squad? He's been rested. So that's the reason behind this. Also, why Shardul not considered in ODI squad? Shardul is useful with bat and in field. Ishan, do you think Shardul Thakur has done enough recently to be considered in these squads? I mean, are there more people ahead of him in the line?
Shardul obviously is an impact player, Gagi. He's obviously someone that you would like to have on your side. But then when you have Shivam Dubey, and if you are expecting Shivam Dubey to bowl for you as well, and obviously bat and deliver with the bat. Maybe this is the reason why with Hardik, with Shivam, with already these all-rounders in your side, and you want to groom Shivam as a bowler who can, like as a batter who can really bowl you all those overs. Maybe someone like Shardul Thakur finds it difficult to come in here. Uh, that's probably one of the reasons that he's probably missed out here. If he's done enough, Gagi, he's probably not done anything too spectacular in the recent times to get a standout performance, which will help him be a part of the side at the moment. But is my net on?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, I thought the network went. Sorry, yeah. So just coming back to the point here, in my opinion, I think because of the all-rounders who are already present, he might be missing out here, and he's not done something which is completely out of the box, in my opinion, where he can find a place in the side at the moment. This is probably the reason why he's missed out. But yeah, absolutely handy. Soumya, who's mentioned, very useful to the bat and field. He's done it in the past with his Indian side. So definitely someone who is an asset to the side, but not at this particular moment, in my opinion. If they're looking to groom Shivam Dube even further.
And if I may add to that
Yeah.
first question about Somo, about how Hardik, and why is that Jasprit Bumrah does not find a place? He has been rested. Means obviously because of that workload management, he has been rested for this series in Sri Lanka. But then we all will be seeing him in action in that Test series against Bangladesh, and followed by that series against New Zealand, and then that all important series against Australia.
Um, Absolutely. Okay. Okay, Rahul Mohapatra is asking you a question, Bharat. He's saying, Bharat sir, one question. Don't you think at least Abhishek Sharma should have been in the T20 squad watching his all-rounder capabilities? This is
I
a
guess
good
already
question.
answered. I guess I kind of answered by saying you showed some intent in one of the matches and should have been picked in the squad. But that is what has happened. I'm not going against blaming any player, but I could see the Shubman Gill scored 40 of 30 balls, 35 of 30 balls. We got those knocks. And that's how it felt like watching the T20 series. A lot of batters, again, not blaming anyone, but few of the batters at least, it seemed like they were trying to play for their place because they knew Zimbabwe was not exactly the greatest of sides. I'm not blaming one single player, but Abhishek Sharma obviously showed the kind of intent in one of the matches, and the 2 or 3 matches he failed. But for the kind of intent he showed that in that one match and his ability to bowl left-arm spin, I definitely would have included him in the T20 squad because modern day T20 cricket, the way it is played, I would definitely think of players like Jaiswal and Abhishek Sharma at the top of the order. But yeah, that is their call. But just wanted to add one more point about Shardul Thakur. See, it's not just Shivam Dube. We tend to forget that Harshit Rana also can land some meaty blows, lusty blows. I've seen his batting. He's a decent hitter. He's quite a decent hitter, and India can look to him, uh, groom him into an all-rounder as well because obviously his bowling skills are pretty good from that in that sense. So his batting ability can be improved slightly, and he can become an all-rounder. So India have some decent options there, and Shardul Thakur is kind of fringe player. So yeah, India perhaps looked past him. As far as Abhishek Sharma is concerned, definitely I would have included him in the T20 squad.
Absolutely. And one or two questions, interesting questions actually. Shiv Kumar. Okay, no. First, sports fan is saying one thing has not changed in all these years. No press conference for explaining so many surprising selections. Then Shiv Kumar is also saying press conferences should be conducted for squad selection to explain all the selection choices. Devashish, you're nodding
At
there.
least,
I
at
think
least, at least, if not a press conference, at least there has to be some comment from the chairman of selectors. Just as is the case with Cricket Australia or England Cricket Board, there has to be a comment as to why they feel so and so player has been included in the side. But there, but we know, means at least that press release has come right in time. Means obviously by 7 p.m. the press release was out, so that is something good. Means obviously everyone has to meet deadline. At times we have seen press release being sent out at 10 9 9 for 10:30 p.m. So that is at least for a change. So, but then if you look at the one day squad, I would just like to throw some light. If you look at this one day squad, because India plays only these three one day internationals in this year, and they do not play any one day internationals in this year. It's only that next year they get to play a series before they actually play the Champions Trophy. So if you look at this side, you see someone like a Harshit Rana or a Khalil Ahmed. Means when what happens when Jasprit Bumrah comes back, Hardik Pandya is back, or a Mohammad Shami when he gets fit if he is back in that side. So means obviously they have to do they have to grab the opportunities. Whoever the youngsters, someone like a Khalil Ahmed or a Harshit Rana, they have to they have to grab the opportunities in both hands. But I don't see if they don't grab the opportunities with both hands. I don't see them being in that side, one day side for the Champions Trophy. Yes, obviously they India do play a series before the Champions Trophy, but this is the only the three matches, three ODIs that they are getting an opportunity to play. So the big challenge for them as well as Riyan Parag. He has already got got a fair chance in Zimbabwe. So hopefully the selectors. And one thing, Gargi, if I think Gautam Gambhir might have been sorted his opinion. Means obviously, if you look at the squad, he is someone who has backed his players to the hill. Means if he feels that for me, Suryakumar Yadav is going to be the captain for India, keeping in mind the 2026 T20 World Cup. Maybe that might be reason because Gautam Gambhir, you need to give him a free hand now that he is the head coach. So and Gautam Gambhir, having seen him at KKR, means during his captaincy days, what he has always relied on his decision, what he feels that will click for him, and maybe that might be the reason that Surya Kumar Yadav has been named as the captain ahead of Hardik Pandya.
Yes, it could well be the reason. And Karthik here is also saying, how come Parag became permanent? I would have gone with Abhishek in place of Riyan Parag. Ishan, what do you think?
Yeah. Yes, Gagi, I think this brings me back to the initial point that I made. Yeah, Abhishek has obviously done well. Bharat made a valid point as well. But they're looking to get each player for each allocated role. I think they don't want to do the same thing that they did in Zimbabwe. When you already have a Jaiswal and Shubman Gill opening, you would want to make sure that these two are the batter that will open for you. Abhishek Sharma is primarily an opener. So if you get Abhishek over here, then that whole debate on who's going to open will again arise. And I think ideally Abhishek prefers opening rather than batting at number 3 itself. So this is the reason why they've gone with Riyan Parag instead of Abhishek Sharma, because Riyan Parag will stick to his position of batting at number 4. So this is the only basic explanation at the moment, Gagi, from my end. I don't see any other reason because Abhishek has had a decent tournament. He's got that big 100. He could have played smarter cricket, like Bharat mentioned. That's a very good point there. But besides that, nothing terribly wrong done where he should have not been part of the squad. It's just that Jaiswal is already here with Shubman Gill, and this is why he's missing out.
Bharat, I'd like you to answer this question. Purnendu Sarkar is asking, what about Chahal? Is his international career over?
Yeah, see, the problem with Chahal, if you look at T20 cricket especially, he bowls a lot slower through the air. He looks to give flight, but unfortunately, unlike Kuldeep Yadav, he doesn't impart enough revs on the ball. So, if you keep giving air in T20 cricket, at least most batters will line you up, try to hit you through the line. That is how it is happening in T20 cricket. It's very tough for spinners who try to beat the bat in the air, try to give flight. He's a clever bowler. Obviously, he's come from a chess background that you can see when he's bowling. He's plotting the batsman's downfall with subtle changes of pace, with subtle changes of length. But in T20 cricket, the way it is going, it's kind of indicating that spinners who bowl quicker through the air tend to succeed more. If you look at even Kuldeep Yadav, he imparts a lot of reps on the ball, but now he has got that quicker ball. He's got that skidder. Occasionally bowls that flipper, so he has that little bit of variety. When he needs to, he can bowl one that is much quicker through the air, and that is where I think Chahal kind of loses out, because one of those spinners who gives it air is someone who you don't expect to bowl quicker through the air. Depends on clever changes of pace and guile. Perhaps you wonder whether it is his career has come to an end. That's what, at least his international career has kind of perhaps come to an end, because even his selection for that T20 World Cup kind of a little bit surprised me. Yeah, initially he did well. After that, he lost his way in that 2024 IPL. It's been a good bowler for India, but I guess India are looking past him now.
And before we close the show, we've been talking for a long time now. I'd like to ask you all, the takeaways that you've gotten from these two teams that have been announced. What is, your biggest takeaway? What do you think is the biggest message or hint being sent at this point? Ishan, let's start with you. What do you think is the biggest takeaway for you?
Biggest takeaway, Gagi, if I'm having a look at the T20I squad once again, it seems like obviously they're going to go with Suryakumar Yadav, which is a move which is obviously we discussed about this, that it's a strange decision in that sense that we expected Hardik Pandya. But if they're going with Surya at the moment, they might stick with him. So this is something that should be, possibly something that we all should be okay with at the moment, because obviously this management has thought about it. Besides that, they invested in Riyan Parag. Riyan Parag, it's been spoken about a lot. We discussed a lot about him in the IPL. We spoke a lot about him in the Zimbabwe series. He's come to decent amount of form. So this Indian side is definitely looking at that number 4 position as a big position, and it's a crucial position. Riyan Parag is suited out to play the number 4 role. They want to give this youngster more opportunity. So this is a good sign for this Indian cricket management team that they've taken here, because obviously Riyan Parag has been under a lot of criticism in the past, and possibly giving him another opportunity is a good way to go. It'll be interesting to see how he handles the pressure. No one's spoken about Shreyas Iyer. Actually, Shreyas Iyer is a good addition here. He's been missing out of action. It'll be good to see him back in that squad. Obviously, after that big KKR win, not too many opportunities for him to perform. So Shreyas Iyer back in the mix would be great. And yeah, I think these are the 3 biggest takeaways from my end. Khalil Ahmed is a surprise in that fact, like how Devashish Da mentioned, Khalil Ahmed, you're going in with 2 left-armers. Are you going to stick with 2 left-armers in the future? So that's one of those aspects where it can raise a question. But if you ask me about the big 3 takeaways, it's Riyan Parag coming in that number 4 position, obviously Shreyas Iyer, and Suryakumar Yadav as the captain.
Yeah, Devashish, what do you think? And also let Ankit know if Jadeja is dropped or rested, or if you have any update on this.
I think if you look at the press release, BCCI press release, it does say that BCCI will continue to monitor player availability, and means obviously I guess Jadeja might have opted out of the series. Means obviously he doesn't seem to be injured. Means obviously the last tournament that he played was in the T20 World Cup, and obviously since then he has been enjoying a break from cricket. So was Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma and and others, but both Virat and Rohit Sharma has made themselves available for this upcoming series against Sri Lanka. But then I don't think Jadeja is dropped. Yes, you might be there might be a thought that he hasn't performed to his potential in the T20 World Cup. But then, given the stature of Ravindra Jadeja, I don't think he is dropped. I think he has opted out of this series. So once and when, because it clearly says we'll continue to monitor player availability. So once and when Jadeja makes himself available, he will straight away walk into that one ODI squad. Now that he has also retired from T20 format. And if you ask me about the takeaways, obviously I also agree with Ishan. Obviously, the biggest takeaway for me has to be Shreyas Iyer, because he was an integral and part of that Indian team before he got injured, and then I mean, obviously he lost his contract as well, and down, but then he bounced back strongly by captaining KKR to that IPL title. So for me, the biggest takeaways, if you ask me, has to be the comeback of Shreyas Iyer and the appointment of Shubman Gill as the vice captain for both the formats. Because something obviously the BCCI and Gautam Gambhir will be banking on, means obviously thinking about a long-term prospect of him, since now he's a regular across all the 3 formats. So might be this is a long-term move by the selectors.
Bharat, what about you?
Yeah, I guess those two have already said whatever I had to say, so I don't have much left to say. But maybe I will add someone like Harshit Rana. He did well in the IPL, but he gets picked in the ODI squad when actually, yeah, he's someone who can. He looks like a bowler who can play across formats. But if it is anything, he did well in the T20 format in the IPL, but somehow gets. Picked in the ODI squad. This sort of certain confusing things like two left armers being picked in the T20 squad and Harshit Rana getting a chance in the ODI squad when he actually did well in the T20 format in the IPL. Yeah, but with every selection, you always say only 15 members or 14 members can be selected, and there would always be certain question marks over certain selections. But that is how it works.
Okay, so there you have it. Shubham Saha is asking any update on Champions Trophy hybrid model related. No updates as of now, but I think India remains stern on their point of not traveling to Pakistan. So that's when we have the update on that. We'll of course you'll of course find all the updates on Rev Sports, and if you know click our notification bell, if there are any updates, you'll get an notification when we go live. But till then, stay tuned to Rev Sports. This was the T20I and the ODI team for India. Suryakumar Yadav, the next T20I captain. If there are more updates, like Debashish said, that BCCI will continue monitoring the availability of other players. So if there are any changes in the squad, we'll let you guys know. Till then, stay tuned to Rev Sports and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much and have a good night.